Hey everybody, this is Randy McMullen with Amstar Mortgage. Hope you're doing well today. Last week we talked about inflation, and I want to talk to you a little bit about today about home values and how I think things are going to roll out over the next 6 to 12 months. Pretty interesting. The two questions that we get: are we in a bubble? That's the first question. Everybody asks, I think we're in a real estate bubble. I'm going to tell you, I don't think we are, and I'm going to tell you why. The second thing is affordability getting worse? And that's the other thing we hear people talk about, that prices have gone up so fast and so much that affordability is now not very good, and therefore some people may not be buying because of that. Let's take a look at it and see how it all breaks down. I did a little homework, and I will tell you the main thing that I look at for home pricing is supply and demand. I mean, it's economics 101. So if you only knew one thing, and this was it, this would be just about enough to convince you. Starts per million. This is the number of starts, home starts per million people in the United States, so you can see how much construction is happening in the United States. Well, in the 1960s, we built 47,997 homes per million, then 53,000, and then we tailed off to 41,000, 41,000, 41,671. But look what happened in 2010 to 2020. That number dropped to 21,288 homes per million. So you wonder why we're short on inventory. This is a big factor, and that's going to be really hard to reverse. It's not going to happen quickly. If I look at it, the average number of these years was 45,000. We built 21. We were down 53%, 52.9% in the number of homes constructed. That's going to be hard to make up in a short period of time. Now, as if that isn't enough, and that probably is enough, COVID hit. And what did that do? Labor and material shortages, manufacturing delays, home building delays, everything got really slowed down. It's just hard for them to catch back up. And then the other thing that happened as a result of COVID is forbearance. And that's where people put their homes in forbearance, where they don't have to make payments for like 6 to 9 months. And these are things for supply that are all negative. They're in the red. Those aren't good supply things. Those are kind of negative supply things. The good thing is that it looks like inventory is starting to improve. Back in January, we had literally a 1 month supply, and now we're up to about 2.6 months of supply of inventory. That's going to continue, I think, to get better because of forbearance. A lot of these homes that were in forbearance, when they come out, there's a lot of people saying, hey, we're going to have a lot of foreclosures. I don't think we're going to have a lot of foreclosures either, because some of these people that bought these houses for $300,000, those houses are worth $360,000 now. They may sell them, but they're not going to have to go into foreclosure. And I think that's one of the reasons why we may be seeing a little more inventory. So let's take a look at the demand side. And this is a big thing. Millennials, the largest buying group ever to hit the peak buying age. I mean, they dwarf the baby boomers in terms of size. Millennials are now hitting their peak buying years from 2021 to 2026. That is not going to go away. That is a lot of demand that's going to be staying out there. Hedge funds are starting to buy a lot of real estate. In and of itself, that should tell you something too. If hedge funds are buying real estate, it's probably a good sign. The last time they bought, 2011, and we all know they did pretty well from that. Reloads and cash, again, putting more and more pressure on the demand in the market. Reloads, people coming from the Northeast, from New York, from California, from Colorado, they have these really expensive real estate. When they come to Atlanta, it looks like we've got very inexpensive real estate, so they're willing to pay a little bit more, and that's helping push our prices. That's not going to go away. That's a trend we're going to see continue for years and years to come, I believe. So those are all big demand things. Now, what's going to happen a little bit is we still have high unemployment. Small businesses in Atlanta, 35% of the small businesses that were in business and the middle part of 2019 are now out of business, 35%. A lot of those jobs, they're not going to come back as quickly. It's going to take a little bit longer for some self-employed people to resave some money, start back up. So we're going to see that pushing down demand a little bit, and also interest rates rising could tamp down the demand a little bit. And I'm going to talk more about that in my next video about what's going to happen to rates over the next 6 to 9 months. So what do I see happening in the next 12 months as a result of limited supply, a pretty strong demand? I think we're going to see housing continue to rise, but not at the pace that we've been seeing. I think we're going to see it level off quite a bit. Now, I want to talk about one other thing, and that is the affordability question. That's a big part of it. So I did some math, and I looked at some loans that were done in October 2019, and I compared those to loans in September. That should be 2021. So I'm going to make that 2021. And here's what happened. We look at inflation, we talk about, oh, the home prices went up, but guess what also went up? Incomes went up. So someone making $100,000 in October, probably making $108,000 2 years later, about 4% inflation per year. Now, a $400,000 house is now $472,000. So in fact, the price has gone up. A lot of equity for people who bought earlier. Now, the rates in 2019 were 3.875. The rate today, about 2.875. So I took those payments from this loan amount of $320,000. I did an 80% loan at this rate, and it turns out that it was 18.6 of their income was going towards housing. When I took the same scenario for 2021, only 17.4% of their income was going towards the house payment. So actually, homes are slightly more affordable than they were in October of 2019. That's subject to change if interest rates change. I will get back in touch with you over the next week or so to let you know what I expect to see happening with interest rates. But for now, housing probably going to go up just a little bit, level off just a little bit, get a little bit more supply, and hopefully a return closer to normal. This is Randy McMullen with Amstar Mortgage. If you have any questions, please give us a call. Thank you.